And today we're going to talk about cricket at Why Cricket. Yes, Why Cricket, where we cover everything that's happening in cricket across the globe, and special program on T20 Cricket World Cup 2026. 55 matches, 20 teams. The big teams are, of course, participating in the T20 World Cup, including India, the defending champions, Australia, West Indies, South Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and we have our own Canadian team also. It has qualified for the T20 Cricket World Cup. So we'll talk about T20 Cricket World Cup. I'd like to welcome at this point my co-host Harbinder with us. Harbinder ji, a very warm welcome on Ymedia and Why Cricket, sir.
Thank you, Ymedia, and welcome back to all our viewers and listeners to this program.
Thank you so much. And today we have a very special guest here who's been very instrumental in bringing the international cricket here. He knows a lot about cricket. He's the former CEO of Cricket Canada, Atul Ahuja. Sir, a very warm welcome on Ymedia.
Thank you very much.
Sir, why don't we start with you? I know you have played a very important part as far as cricket is concerned. So take us through the journey. How did you get involved with cricket in Canada?
In 2007, I came on as the first CEO of Cricket Canada, mandated by the International Cricket Council that countries should now professionalize their cricket boards. And so 6 associate nations brought on a CEO. Canada was one of them.
So before you, sorry to interrupt, before you became the CEO of Cricket Canada never had a CEO.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm the first ever Chief Executive of Cricket Canada.
Okay, go ahead, please.
And so the ICC felt there to leverage their investment in associate nations that it was time that a professional setup came into the administration. And so as I came on, we started to work to structure the board in a manner that we could leverage the growing popularity of the sport. We were able to put in major sponsors, also got the Government of Canada to recognize the sport and recognize Cricket Canada as a national sports organization. It used to be called the Canadian Cricket Association, and we thought we'd rebrand ourselves. So the first thing I did was I rebranded. We changed our name to Cricket Canada and made it more contemporary. We changed our logo, so the new logo that you see has been created by us. And we wanted to structure it in a manner just the way you have mainstream sport like hockey, football and basketball. And we were quite successful to an extent where we had our first televised national championship in May 2008 over the Victoria Day weekend. It was a Chile national championship. But more importantly, we were counting down to qualifying for the 2011 World Cup. And I felt that it's important that we brought in test playing nations to play against our Canadian team. So we played against the best, we trained against the best, so we could perform with the best. So I brought in the West Indies, and then later in the year got in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe. A series that I was actually able to put together when I went to the opening game of the IPL to try and meet board presidents to talk about Canada being a viable destination to come and play cricket and also to play us. In the past, teams have played in the Sahara Cup in the late 90s but never played Canada. So we said, if you're going to come here, you have to play us. It helps the system. And I'm not so sure. If you recall, we had a large attendance, we had a large television viewing audience, and large sponsors that came as a result of that.
Yeah, you're right. We had the Sahara Cup here in Canada, in Toronto, India versus Pakistan, but the Canadian national team, didn't get a chance to play against the big teams right here in Canada before that time. And I'll talk about that as well when you said the championship. By the way, it was CPCR team who won the national championship at that time. I'll show you pictures I have with the team, and I was there, part of the team, and then not as a player, by the way. Yeah, but yes, I was part of the team. That was our team, CPC, Canadian Professional Cricket. We also launched that. But I'll share, Harbinder ji, my first interaction with Atul ji. How did it happen?
Sure.
I clearly remember because we launched Canadian Professional Cricket, and based on IPL, the same style. So we launched that in 2007. So on a very similar style as IPL would be done. So we told the players that you don't have to pay any fees. We will be providing you the dresses. All fees will be paid by us. So we launched 8 teams. Brampton Lions, Toronto Warriors, Mississauga Superstars. So, and we brought in sponsors for all the 8 teams. And, sorry. And what we did was that I became, as a president of the Canadian Professional Cricket, so I launched this organization by the name Canadian Professional Cricket. And out of these 8 teams, it was the first ever tournament that we organized where all the 8 teams had their names, their logos. I mean, Toronto Warriors, Brampton Lions, Mississauga Superstars, Markham Gladiators. So yeah, we launched this in style, and then the teams would come play, and the best of the players from across Canada, the best of the players, even many of the players played for Cricket Canada, the national cricket team. And I clearly remember after this tournament, many players went on to play for, not that because of this tournament, but they also played. Like Rizwan Cheema had never played for Cricket Canada at that time. Rizwan Cheema was the captain for Markham Gladiators. Then we had Scarborough Tigers as well. So yeah, so we launched 8 teams, and then after the tournament finished, so there was a lot of discussion about the tournament. It was my saying that would be biased, but anyways, there was a lot of discussion. The tournament went very well because we were in media, so Ymedia supported that. I brought in sponsors, so we served food as well. And we did it at the CA Centre here in Brampton. We had 3 grounds booked. It was a T20 format, the shorter format. The matches would be held Friday evening and then Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And then I get a call from the national coach, Pubdu Das Naike, and he says, our Canada's national team is preparing for the Cricket World Cup. The Cricket World Cup that happened in 2009 in England, which Pakistan won. Because the inaugural T20 World Cup 2007 was won by India, then the 2009 World Cup. So Canada also qualified for that, and they were preparing for that. So we called on a Monday evening, we went there, and then, we defeated the Canada. Now here is a team. So I took a team, this is my team, Canadian Professional Cricket Team, CPC. So CPC goes there and defeats at King City, the Canadian national team. So then he says, you know what, Ashish Bagai was the captain at that time. He says, he's coming back, and why don't you guys come back on Wednesday and we play another match? So we went there and we again defeated that team. So we defeated the Canadian national team back to back, and we published that on the front page of Midweek newspaper that CPC has defeated Canada's national team back to back. And I clearly remember I sent it because the newspaper was widely read, and then will not name Atulji, know that person I'm talking about. So he was a very senior person at a national major bank in India. So we have the 5 major banks. One of the banks were the sponsors. So let's not name anybody. So he also called me, and then maybe he spoke to Atulji as well. And the next thing I know, because I knew Atulji, he's the CEO of Cricket Canada. So he calls me and he says, you published this, and our sponsor is also reading this. You publish this. I said, whatever is published on the front page of Midweek, it's right. I mean, we have defeated your team twice. Why won't I publish that on the front page? So Atul said, you know what, we're going to have a tournament. Okay, where is your office? I want to come and see you. I said, why not? So at our main office at 1310 Midway. So I said, we're at 1310 Midway. So please, that's our main office there. So come over. So he came over and we shook hands, and a very nice person. We interacted. He says, let's do a tournament. Champions of Canada. And you have 2 teams with you, and one will be Cricket Canada, the national team, and we play, all the 3 teams will play the match, and there was a $5,000 prize as well from okay, I'll name that now, Scotiabank Canada. So, okay, fine, Champions of Canada. The matches will be played at King City and Rosslod. So I said, fine, Rosslod and King City will play the matches. So I out of my 8 teams, I created 2 teams out of that, CPC A and CPC B. We went to King City, and right before the match, the coach Pubdu Das Naike, he's been the coach of many international teams, Nepal, he's been the coach of US as well. So he's a former Sri Lankan player. You know him very well, right? You're the CEO, so how wouldn't you know that? Anyways, I'll hear your side of the story also on this one. So then we went there at King City, and right before the first match was about to start and the tournament was about to begin, the Champions of Canada. So the coach, he wants Rizwan Cheema playing for Cricket Canada. So I said, he's the captain of my CPC B team. So how can, I mean, right before the toss is about to happen, before the tournament, everything is been declared. So then, eventually every player wants to wear the national jersey and they want to play for Cricket Canada. So I said, okay, fine. And he took over the CPC t-shirt and he started wearing the Cricket Canada. And, obviously some of his friends and teammates say, oh, what are you doing? You should be playing for CPC. Oh, no, this is not good. Anyways, he went to the Cricket Canada's national team. First match played at King City. I'll cut the long story short. We won that match. We again defeated Cricket Canada. Then the second match was there at Roslord, and then we went there. I clearly remember, 66 all out. Rizwan Chima scored a quick fire, I think 30 or something in just 15-20 balls. A very good batsman and bowler as well. So scored, but he was the only player, and then 66 all out. We just had one run out and we won that match as well. We didn't even play the final. We got the check for 5,000. We didn't play. I said, my teams are playing CPCA versus CPCB. There's no point in playing the final. Yeah. So let's do the prize distribution ceremony here. And we got the check, and I clearly remember we went that evening to Radisson Hotel. Most of the players were, saying, sir, I said, what do you want to do with the prize? I said, let's have fun. We want to have a party. So went to at Radisson on the Derry Road. Yeah. We partied all evening, all night, and we celebrated. But that's how my interaction started with Atul, and I must give him credit. That was I would say, the golden era. I have never seen, of course, as he was mentioning, Atul was mentioning, India and Pakistan played, but the Canadian team plays against 4 test playing countries in 1 year. In that year, in 2008, even Pakistan didn't have that much cricket because of the turbulent times there, And of course, then there was the issue again at Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium when terror struck again there in 2009. But cricket in Canada, Cricket Canada is playing against the national team of Pakistan. Pakistan was here, Sri Lanka, West Indies, Zimbabwe. 4 test playing countries, credit goes to him. Not that he's sitting across the table, but this is the guy at the helm of the affairs as the CEO, bringing in these national teams. We had Al Baraka Cup here at King City, amazing crowd, and cricket, I thought, and those were the times I thought that we will be bringing the T20 Cricket World Cup in 2020. Here we are, we'll talk about T20 26 Cricket World Cup, but I want to hear your side of the story. How did you manage to do all that? Please.
Thank you. So, T20 was a newer format, as you know. 2007, the World Cup was in South Africa. Mm-hmm. And so it was a new format even for our players. And so the national championship for sure was held. And then, yes, that was between the provinces. And then after that, your challenge came. And it was, not a regular thing for a national team to play within the community. And then play. But it was a new format for the players. It was good. It was good that it happened. Rizwan, I know, at the time had not qualified to play for Canada till he was playing with you. And at about that time, when we identified that talent, we went through the entire process of getting him qualified to play. So I think he did qualify at the time. So just about the time he came and played for Cricket Canada was the time I think his approvals came through to play for Canada. But what we had done, in addition to getting the national funding from as an NSO, National Sporting Organization, we had also, with the ICC, been able to get the Under-19 World Cup awarded to us.
Yes.
So we had got the 2012 Under-19 World Cup awarded to Canada. I departed Cricket Canada in 2009, and a lot of these initiatives then finally fell by the wayside. I think the subsequent administrations did not go ahead and follow through on some of those points. But yeah, to your point, it was great that you came up, you challenged the national team, you beat the national team. I think it was a learning, it was a new format of cricket.
Yeah, and just 10 seconds. And we had initially said twice, but then we said CPC beats Cricket Canada 4 times in a row. We defeated the national team 4 times in a row, and then we put that headline again. But by the time we'd become very good friends, and I realized that here is someone. Of course, I was very busy in building Ymedia with print, radio, TV, and other things. And I had a dream that Canada should be up there. Yeah. And again, I can say that if this guy would have remained the CEO, and again, I'm saying it, I'm putting it on record. if you put this guy today, the CEO of Cricket Canada, you will see where Cricket Canada will go. Please. Yeah, sorry.
Got a quick question for you, Atulji. Would you term cricket as the fastest growing sport in Canada now?
It has been for the longest time. It has been, I think, largely fed by the arrival of people from that part of the world, and I think that we're sitting on a huge wealth of opportunity, commercial opportunity for the Canadian sporting industry, and I think that structured well, it is a large revenue generator, which it was when I was running the show. We were able to bring in teams from outside. When that happens, you bring in broadcast revenue, you bring in international attention, you bring in visitors who came from all over to watch these series. So yes, the answer is that it is, in my opinion, and I think backed by a lot of data, that it is it's a prevalent sport. It's not just fast growing. It's a prevalent sport. I think you may have close to a few 100,000 active cricketers in Canada today, and as Canada today continues to consolidate its position in terms of numbers, what's very important is that I've launched the World T10 Women's Series, and the other 50% of cricketers that want to play the sport. Today, I'm trying to promote the initiative to give them an avenue to display their talent. So it's not just one of the fastest growing sports for men, but also for women.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? Look where cricket, US has progressed. USA cricket has progressed so well. They have international cricket. They hosted, along with West Indies, the Cricket World Cup. I don't think so. Even 10 years ago, we would have imagined that we would have the World Cup. Of course, US was the co-host there, but you're watching international cricket. India versus Pakistan happening in New York.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I had ever imagined a World Cup a game being played in New York, out of all places. Of course, we have stadium at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now they are trying to build more stadiums in US. They have a domestic league which is flourishing as well. So I think cricket US has done tremendously well, and their team they performed well as well. So US, the cricket team, I clearly remember our former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. We were there at a downtown meeting. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper, he would invite 3 or 4 journalists. Almost on a quarterly basis, we would go downtown and we would ask a few questions, maybe a couple of them, and then all 4 of us would get a chance, and then we'll have some snacks and then more. But there was always time for some, lighthearted conversation as well after the formal discussion was over. So I would always talk about cricket, and we should build a stadium. So I clearly remember former Prime Minister Harper asking me, what do you think about the Canadian cricket team? When I go to US, they say your team is really good. This is the feedback I get in US, and when I go anywhere else, they say, no, your team is not good. So what do you have to say? You always talk about cricket and building a cricket stadium here in Canada.
Yeah.
So I've always discussed this, whether it was a former Prime Minister or current Prime Minister or our Mayor, Patrick Brown. So I will say we have to build a cricket stadium here. Anyways, so I said, sir, actually both the feedbacks are right. He said, both the feedbacks? I said, yeah. Because if you are in US, of course they'll say you have a much better team, you have an amazing cricket team, because we are a far better cricketing nation than US. Not now, maybe you can elaborate more on that. And when we go to any other place, whether you're visiting India or any other place, of course they'll tell you that Canada is not a great cricketing nation because we do qualify, but we're the minnows. Please.
Yeah. So, we had 10 turf wickets set up by the ICC in the GTA. In 2003, in fact 2001, I'm sorry. And so we have the infrastructure, but I think over the years it's whittled its way down. In fact, that formed the basis for us to get the Under-19 World Cup for 2012. But yes, to Yudhvir's point, whenever we had a proposal to play the US, even when I was the CEO, I would say we need to punch above our weight. So we should be playing stronger teams. and I was not in favor of us playing a team weaker, which obviously you don't want to practice with a team that's weaker than you. But yes, I think the tables have turned now. The US has upped the game. A lot of success on the field comes from success off the field, right? So वो कहावत है जैसी नस्ल वैसी फसल, ठीक है ना? So the corporate DNA you put into the administration, that produces the fruit that you look for on the field. So when you have professionalism, consistency, and you're able to create a structure which becomes agnostic of the people running it. So the system runs. And I think that was the ICC's mandate, that you have a professional system irrespective of who gets elected into the board and who is not elected, who loses an election. The player shouldn't feel compromised, because it's all about the player and the player system and the high performance pathway. And whether it is, so for example, we launched the National Schools Program. And too often in cricket, we think everything is happening in Toronto. But we launched the National Schools Program in Abbotsford, BC. So we took a national view. So at the schools level, our desire was to take cricket down and then bring it up and create a high performance pathway and then create a way to identify. So we also set in place a profile for selectors. You have to have qualified selectors who are fair and understand where global talent needs to be identified. You identify global talent, you cultivate the talent, and then you create a national team around it. And for that, you need to have continuity. And that continuity comes from your professional cadre. So if any board is able to create a professional cadre, which is a professional CEO, a professional coach, a professional high-performance program, that outlasts 1 or 2 or 3 administrations, then you will find the credibility from your sponsors. They will find you credible. You will find continuity for player development. You'll find the ability to identify younger talent, under-19 talent, and groom them. So you see a lot of great talent comes from the under-19 programs, right? Even if you look at India, Virat Kohli, Jadeja, Tendulkar, they all came from much junior. They were identified very early.
Yuvraj Singh.
Yuvraj Singh. And even Arshdeep Singh, right?
Yeah.
So I think that structure removes transactionalism. So at the moment, whenever in the world of cricket you see teams progressing, that structure is very important. The predictability of the structure is very important. That if a player feels I accomplish a certain goal, that I will probably knock at being in the top 30 or top 40, and then from there get selected into the team. The moment you bring transactionalism and you say, show me the man and I'll show you the selection route, so those things work against it. So that's in any country. And so bringing those structures back into place are very important.
So are you still able to contribute to the propagation of this sport here?
Yeah. I just founded and curated the World T10 Women's Series in 2024. Mm-hmm. The 2025 seasons just happened, and then 2026 season will happen. And I think the way to bring in corporates at the grassroots level, which Yudhvir I saw was able to do 15 years ago, was that even at the grassroots level, there should be the ability for entrepreneurs, visionaries, to create tournaments. Because the moment a player who spends a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of injury, recovery, nutrition to remain a top-level player, the moment you bring in corporate money, even at the lowest level, even if it's a small amount of money, it's a huge reward system for the player. And I also think there is room for a corporate series to be formed here. I'm very keen that we at the grassroots level form a corporate series and probably go back to your CPC days again and you create a corporate series, because there's a lot of people that play this sport. Mm-hmm. And a large part of viewership is participation. Everybody who watches cricket on television says, I would like to play. And a lot of them are very talented. They would like, and even the women. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say even the women. Women in equal measure. It's something I've seen in our series, that one of the teams this year we saw, there was a lot of women whose husbands played cricket. And they love the sport because their husbands have exposed them. Because these women have watched their fathers play the sport. Now they watch their husbands play the sport. So it's great to see, and this is top talent. They're very fit women. They're sliding, they're sprinting, they're diving, and they're playing the sport. In fact, one of the husbands said to me that, my wife has fractured her arm sliding. I mean, that is something that's phenomenal to have that level of participation. But at the grassroots, it's a game that's very appealing to certain communities, right, that play the sport in equal measure between men and women.
And what is Cricket Canada's perspective on this, Atulji?
I'm not in Cricket Canada. Okay. And Cricket Canada has its hands full right now with the World Cup that's coming up. And they're now beginning to their preparation. So see, every administration does the best it can. I believe, whenever I believe people do something, they give it everything. And so what happens when you have a professional setup is those people are trained in this field to give you professional leadership in running a sport. And so, right at the moment, the way the board is sort of, I think, gearing itself to a winter training for this upcoming World Cup, which is in February in India. And Canada has 4 fixtures in the initial rounds, starting the 9th of February. We play South Africa in the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we play South Africa. And then I think 13th we play the UAE in Delhi. And the 17th we play New Zealand in Chennai. And the 19th we play Afghanistan in Chennai.
Are you going there, sir? Are you participating?
I don't know if I'm going there. but definitely I think the team is, very soon going to start looking at a warmer destination to train. This is my understanding. And so, yeah, let's hope.
So I may put both of you as cricket czars here in North America. Let me ask Yudviji. Yudviji, are you planning to go to India, sir, for the World Cup?
T20 World Cup, I could. The reason I'm saying is at that time there is a summit for artificial intelligence as well. So February there's going to happen a lot. 18th and 19th Artificial Intelligence Summit, T20 Cricket World Cup. And our Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney could also be visiting. There's definitely a lot of delegations going at that time, but our Prime Minister Mark Carney could also be, I think, almost said yes, so he could also be visiting India at that time. Oh. So, of course, Ymedia will be covering all this, the T20 World Cup, Prime Ministers who visit over there, the AI summit that's going to happen there. So, definitely we will be covering that as well. And on this note, I'll also tell you that, yes, you're talking about the women cricket here in Canada. My niece, she was visiting from Australia, and she says, you should come and watch one of my games. I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I went to watch one of her games, and to my surprise, there were 3 grounds. I have a video, I'll share that with you as well. To my surprise, all the 3 cricket grounds, there were girls playing at that time. All the 3 cricket grounds. I'm talking about Dixie 407 grounds, right here. So at Dixie and 407 grounds, there were girls playing in all the 3 grounds. I said, wow, so much of women cricket is happening here in Canada. And I must say this, that yes, you've done an amazing job with the T20, season 1, season 2, and next year will be season 3. At Ymedia, we're here all to support that. But down the memory lane, if one of those pictures is ready with our technical team, I wanted to share this picture with you when our team won the T20 provincial tournament. This is the this is the tournament. We are holding the trophy there. So, and this is Mike Kendall. At that time, he was the president of Ontario Cricket Association, and you can see how fit I was at that time.
Yes, well, you're pretty fit even now.
No, no, I had put on a lot of weight. I had, from player to cricket. I was running the cricket league at that time. So this is the picture for the team with the trophy. So we won many trophies at that time, and at the CPC level, this is one of those pictures at the trophy. So, but but at that time, I would say. At that time, that's Wasim from Ash Cricket. That time we had President Mike Kendall. Mike was the president at that time.
Ontario Cricket, yes.
Ontario Cricket Association. He was the president at that time.
Yes.
Yeah. So where do we take Cricket Canada from here now? What is the future? What is the future that you see?
I think I'm not in Cricket Canada.
Yeah.
So
we're not there, but let's discuss that. What can we all think? What could be the vision for cricket?
So I think at a structural level, a lot of the drivers come from industry. So if at the community level, if at the for example, we've got the women's series going. I'm very keen we do a corporate series. Once we start to see a larger involvement of corporates in cricket, the stakes are going to be higher. And I know it's been a long time. It's been 25, 30 years that I've been following Canadian cricket. I've been part of it. I've led it. And I think that we have got a lot of potential here to... So the moment there is financial reward for players, by creating structures where sponsors come in, viewership comes in, television production comes in, and I think the community can do a lot about it. I don't think we need to wait for any organization to do it. And I think that way we can contribute to feeding.
Canada has played in ODIs and first-class matches, Atulji. What about our test status?
So, at a time when we had, we were ranked 13th back 15 odd years ago, and Ireland and Afghanistan did not have full member status. I think we were knocking on the doors. And so I think, one, we need to have infrastructure, which means we need to have turf wickets. We need to have turf nets, so you start to play cricket in a manner which is played across the world. Number two, the involvement of corporates. Number three, I think the moment the stakes go up, then the focus on the governing also goes up. And when that goes up, hopefully we attract the appropriate talent into the administration. Because at the end of the day, कहते हैं जैसे नस्ल वैसे फसल. तो आपके पास एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में जब ऐसे लोग फॉरवर्ड आएंगे जिनको who know the best of the best, who understand the sport, and in Canada we are not short of sporting talent. I mean sporting administration talent. We are at the cutting edge. So, but within cricket, for some reason, that inclusion will really help us.
What do you feel, Yudviji, Canada acquiring the test status? When do you see it happening?
You see, that's a great question. Can Canada acquire the test status? We haven't, there was a time when we lost our ODI status as well, let alone, acquiring the test. We don't qualify now for the ODI World Cup as well. We don't even qualify for that. We've got back the status. We don't qualify for the ODI World Cup. If the T20 World Cup is cut short to, I would say, 16 teams or 12 teams. I doubt. I mean, it's a 20 teams, so we are qualifying right now. But if it's cut short, I mean, Italy is also qualifying. What a big deal. Italy has also played. I mean, out of all the teams, like Nepal is playing the Cricket World Cup. Afghanistan has a much better team. Afghanistan has a much better cricket team. They have test status. That was your question. So, I think that we have to address the elephant in the room, first of all. So if I may say 3 or 4 steps, you cannot put the cart before the horse. We have to clear the rot in the cricket administration, first of all. It has to start from there. Because otherwise we'll get into the vicious cycle. The corporates will come because the sponsors know cricket is one of the fastest growing sport. The sponsors are ready to come. But what happens is when the sponsors come in and suddenly we get bad press that this is happening at the helm of affairs in Cricket Canada. We saw that. I don't want to go into that details because we want to talk about positive things. We want to talk about better things. But we have to still address the elephant in the room. So when the corporates come and you get bad press across Canada, I mean, when CBC is reporting something, when Post Media Group, the major newspapers are reporting something which is obnoxious happening at the helm of affairs in cricket administration. Of course, I mean, the corporate would take note of that. The sponsors will take note of that. So you cannot bring in too many sponsors at that time. So we have to get our act together. In the cricket administration, there are great people and then there are challenges as well. We've seen that. So those who are doing good in the cricket administration, let's keep them, right? Clear the rot and then bring in people back at the helm of the affairs who really support the game of cricket. Number one, with honesty, with passion, with dedication for the sport. And then I see a bright future for Cricket Canada. There is so much talent here. I have no doubt we can be a very competitive team, across the globe. We can do that. Number one, that's number one. Number two, infrastructure is very important.
Yeah.
Amsterdam, out of all places, Amsterdam has a stadium. Even it's the capacity is 5,000, but it's great. We don't have a stadium where we can fit in 20, I mean a proper stadium when I say so. Because you have to have a stadium. You have to have the house of cricket. You can't keep buildings, stadiums on ad hoc basis. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to have infrastructure. Like we have a domestic league in US. They are looking for a team, Toronto team. We could be part of that, just like NHL or NBA is played. NHL, NBA is played. We can be part of the league that's happening in US, and we can start building our own league. Why not? Because we have to, and again I've said, we have had domestic tournaments here, but of course there were so many challenges. So I'm saying number one, firstly, you can bring in G20 or GT20 had sponsors. So I'm not going into the details, what happened, let's leave that now. But if we want to focus on our future, so the sponsors will come, no doubt about that. But before we do that, clear the rot in the cricket administration, because you cannot have, the issues that we are facing. A lot of issues, allegations of, I don't want to use that word. There's so many allegations, and when we see those allegations, bad press, the sponsors are not going to come. It gives a bad repute to the game itself. It's a gentleman's sport. Where else would you have a sport? You come and you play. After 2 hours, sir, it's lunchtime. You go out. You have lunch. After the lunch, you come back. You again start playing for 2 hours. Test cricket. And then, sir, it's tea time. High tea is being served. You go in the pavilion. There's pavilion, and you go inside the pavilion. Then you have tea time. You come back, then you play. That's why it's called the gentleman's sport.
But you often said, Yudviji, and I also feel the same way, that 5-day cricket is the school and academy from where better prospects come out. What do you take on that?
Just 1 second, if I may. Sorry. But you have a very important question there. So first thing, the rot has to be cleared in the cricket administration. Second is we need to start focusing on building the infrastructure. Third is, as to Atulji's point, we need to start building cricketers at the grassroots level. The school cricket, the university cricket. In India, there are 14-year-olds who are scoring centuries in IPL. In IPL, you have a 14-year-old scoring T20 centuries. So when 14-year-olds are scoring centuries, that's where the game is heading towards. What do we do? We have to start building more and more talent at the school, university, under 14, under 16, under 19 level. And again, to Atulji's point, it has to come from across different genders. Yes, the male sport is important, but so is the female sport. We have to bring everyone, right?
Absolutely.
So that has to do. Number 4. A robust domestic cricket. In India, whether it's a Deodhar Trophy, whether there's a Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, there's the infra, and then the IPL itself. It's not a domestic tournament anymore. I mean, of course, it's a domestic league by BCCI, but it's sometimes even better than international cricket. Almost good 2 months. All the cricket stars, they come, they play for all those 2 months. So build a nice domestic cricket infrastructure, right? And then the final part, it's very, very important. We need good media as well. Right now, we're getting bad press all the time. Show me any 10 good articles in the mainstream media about Cricket Canada. Show me. Show me 10 good articles. I can show you 10 articles in the mainstream media. Like at Ymedia, we at Y Cricket, at Ymedia, at Y Cricket, we talk about cricket almost on daily basis.
We do.
On channel, we have at Ymedia, our channel goes across US, it goes across Canada, and we have a 24/7 radio. It's a mainstream radio, FM 105.9 FM. It's an English language radio, so we can talk cricket, we can discuss that over here, and then I'm sure if we start doing some good things, then mainstream media will give us good press as well. So then media, because when the sponsors see this thing happening in media, not only the sponsors, then the parents, because we have to, like today if you ask, not many people will be inclined, to put their kids in cricket because they don't see the future of Cricket Canada. When was the last time that we qualified for, a knockout for the knockout stage in cricket? When was the last time? I don't even remember that. I mean, we could play T20 cricket here and there. But even in this year, the pool that we are in, I would say, let alone the big teams, even Afghanistan, I'm the only thing that we could really do well is, we don't get the wooden spoon. We're not at the bottom of our table, yeah. I mean, I don't think so we'll go to the Super 8 stage. I'll be pleasantly surprised. If we go to the Super 8 stage, let alone the knockout stage. You have to, from the 20 teams, there is the Super 8 stage, then there is a knockout stage, the semi-finals, and then the finals. I'm not dreaming of Canada reaching the semi-finals or the finals. No, you can't even dream about that.
Yeah.
Right? Afghanistan can dream. Even US can dream because they've reached the knockout stages. But I doubt, and things can turn around. Look at the soccer team. Very recently, we were not even in the top 100. We were not even in the top 100. Before the Qatar World Cup, we were not even in the top 50. And now we're ranked 27th. Our soccer team, imagine the entire Latin America, the entire Europe plays soccer. Asia, you have huge giants in Asia. Huge giants. We're talking soccer here. Canada is the 27th ranked team in soccer. How quickly have we moved ahead?
Yep.
We can do that. I think we can do that in cricket as well. Sir, sorry to your question.
No,
sorry.
I'm of the view, Atulji, that 5-day cricket, that is test match cricket, it grooms better prospects, further up for the shorter version of the cricket. You tell me, being at the helm of affairs, sir, what's your take on that?
So it's very important to play long form. Long form allows you to be able to bat long, bowl long. As a player, जैसे कहते हैं ना फुर्सत, आप म्यूज़िक की बात करते हैं कि राग फुर्सत में गाया जाता है, आलाप फुर्सत में आता है, चाय भी फुर्सत में एंजॉय की जाती है. To learn, you need time. And for a player to really go out and play those T20 knocks where you're getting 100 in a T20, that player has played a lot of 5-day cricket, 3-day cricket, because they've got time to perfect their drive, their horizontal shot, whatever else, right? So yes, important to have long form cricket. We play short form cricket here, so grooming is very important in long form. To Yudhir's point about a dedicated professional setup, I think dedication, honesty, integrity, these are such essential traits that if you have any dilution there, you're going to have a problem. But if you really want to be a winner and move to your, from the knockout stage, you want to move into the Super 8s, you need to also have a professional setup that understands cricket. Right? To your point, you just talked to me and you asked me about long form and short form. And, it's very important to understand player development, player talent, player injury, player recovery, player nutrition, player psychology, right? So you need to have a professional structure that understands every facet of player management, then team management, team dynamics. And I think a revolving door of elected officials don't provide the continuity needed for that. And the ICC recognizes that. Obviously, they did. That's why they have pushed to have a professional structure. And so that has been here. We need to go back to creating that continuity. To your point about the professionalism, that mindset for a player can start as early as the age of 7, 8, 9. So professional development of a player can start as early as that. And the other piece is that you talk about, and I keep hearing this, the fastest growing sport. The sport's grown. It's a grown sport. I think the pool of players you have here is so large that you're not leveraging what's already grown. And I think from a government standpoint, this sport unites, some major communities that live here. Right? They always say that music is the language of love.
Yeah.
It's a universal language. I say sport, and I say in the case of Canada, cricket is a sport or an activity that unites multiple communities from one part of the world, right? Especially South Asia. And you see there's a lot of disruption there from time to time. There are issues, there are dynamics that create chasms. But cricket again brings everybody back together. It corrects course. So I think if the administration is able to Yudhi's point, to portray honesty, integrity, intent, professionalism, structure, I see there is no reason why the government won't step up and increase its contribution to cricket. Today, it's not happening, unfortunately. For all the news that we've talked about, whether it ranges from allegations of fixing allegations, it's all allegations, right? But whatever it is, the moment that happens, you start to see, that there's a loss of integrity, loss of reputation.
So the future of cricket does look bright, sir? Yudhviji?
The numbers are great, but I'll speak a little bit more. It's Sport Canada has a formula that they want national sport organizations to follow. They want a certain structure on the board. They want a certain diversity on the board. They want a certain way that the board functions for them to recognize any sport as a national sporting organization and for them to fund it. And I think that compliance has to happen. It has not happened. So if you fall short on multiple fronts, whether your government has set the certain way that you should be structured, you fall short there. If you fall short by bringing in professionals to run your board, that's two major places where you're falling short, right, as a structure. And I can talk about many more, but there's no point talking about everything that's wrong. I say the biggest thing going for cricket in Canada is the numbers. What needs to happen is a structure. And I think that structure, I don't know if it's work in progress, but for the very least, my contribution, I would say, is that whatever I can do through my organization, on the women's side, on the corporate side, we are going to do. And I think everybody here who finds the system isn't working out for them, I think at a community level, start doing your own thing. Don't wait. At some point, when people see good stuff happening, they will follow. Unfortunately, I don't have another cure for this. Because it's very easy for me to sit down and say this is not happening, that's not happening. But yeah, very clearly, we have taken many steps back, and that is heartbreaking. And I have to say that it's heartbreaking. At a personal level, it's disappointing. It is extremely damaging to the children playing the sport. Extremely damaging. because certain communities only play cricket. They don't play any other sport. And if this administration or any administration cannot do good to them, they're only damaging them. Because you're creating an illusion that things are growing, that there's a lot of grassroots. And that little child has nowhere to go, really. And a child doesn't deserve to see negative news in the media about the sport. A child wants to see heroes. And you're not seeing that happening in Canadian cricket, either on the field or off the field. In fact, the off the field is holding the sport back a lot more. The people who've been given the purse strings, who've been given the opportunity to lead, are unfortunately holding the sport back. And there is you look around you, there seems to be no further way out of it. So I say, do what you can, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You have similar views, Yudhviji?
Yeah, I'll start from here. As Atulji has already mentioning that we can find out so many faults. So we've seen allegations flying around. I'll again use the word; these are allegations. We've seen that, but definitely one thing is for sure that Cricket Canada, the potential it had. We didn't. It was a lost opportunity. I mean, when I started playing cricket in Canada, when we launched our CPC, Canadian Professional Cricket, for good 7 years, we would support the cricket. I would run the league. We're still supporting cricket at Ymedia, right? We cover cricket. We're more than willing to support cricket here. But at that time, I was very actively involved. I will go organize a proper league. So for good 6-7 years, we would organize a league, we would spend time, we would spend money, a lot of resources. But then we thought, are we really taking cricket anywhere? Are we really, supporting the cricket? So then it was very heartbreaking for me to see that, yes, when the parents would come, and actually I would go early morning trying to teach cricket to kids. But when the parents would come to me, we don't see any future. And they, again, I will say, they also used to allege that, and maybe parents feel that way. Everyone feels my kid is the brightest, he's the best talent this planet has ever seen. So, but there were allegations, they saying there's favoritism, this, that, my kid is not able to. So, I had my hands tied. And to the point when someone said to me that it was because of you, I took my kid to play cricket. Yeah. You were promoting cricket all the time on TV and radio, so sir, please help me. Now I'm facing this problem. So I said, my hands are tied. I have no role in the administration, and I wish, your kid can do something better. And I still say that. I don't want to find too many faults. No, that's not my style. I want to focus on. That's why we would rarely cover Cricket Canada. Rarely, we would rarely cover Cricket Canada. If there are good things coming out of Cricket Canada, we'll cover that. Other than that, we would focus ourselves on international cricket, because people are still coming, watching. We organize so many watch parties here. Yeah. 100, 200, 500 people will come. We have sponsors for watch parties. There were so many sponsors. And we would support the game of cricket. I have woken up, this morning also I woke up very early. I've woken up, and all our team members here at Ymedia have woken up very early. Sometimes they even, they didn't even go to sleep. So they were awake all night here in the studio. I still remember a few of the games. A couple of my colleagues, they were just sitting here in the studio, because if the game would start at 3 a.m. in the morning or 4 a.m. in the morning, yeah. So the young crew would always say, sir, we would rather not go to bed, and we'll take a couple of days off later on, but we'll stay here in the studio. Because it will be very difficult for us to go back and then come back early, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So we supported cricket in a way, but I would still say, yes, I am still very optimistic. And to Atulji's point, we should all play our part. And one very important part that I want to highlight. Yep. I think sports, whichever sport you play, we're talking cricket now, whichever sport you play, I've played a lot of soccer. I still play badminton as well. I've played soccer, I play badminton. Or you're playing cricket, One of the things which is very good for youth, any sport that you play, any sport, We all talk about our physical health. Yes, it supports physical health, but it supports your mental health as well, because you learn to fight. As a youngster, we know a lot of teenagers in the age of social media. A lot of teenagers are facing mental health challenges today. I can tell you that research after research shows this, that yes, the teenagers, the youngsters who are getting involved with any sport, because what happens is, I'll tell you, like while you're playing cricket, your entire focus is nowhere else. It's on the ball.
Yeah.
As a batsman, you're focused on the ball. Okay, you play the ball and then you're focused on the next ball. You're focused on the next delivery. Okay, then you again focused. You're playing that. Ball after ball, delivery after delivery, you're there. You bat, you score runs. You're running between the wickets. You're fielding, because you have to be very active as a fielder. I used to, play as a wicket keeper. So when you're keeping the wickets, you're all the time, every ball you're focused. So we used to play 50 over game, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. If I am keeping the wickets as a wicket keeper, I'm just focused on every single ball. Even if the ball is hit, for the run out, I'm ready. Yeah, you're ready. Throw ball every time. 3.5 hours you're doing this. You go back out for a 45-minute break. You come back as a batsman, because they used to open the innings. You come back as a batsman, as long as you're playing for half an hour, 1 hour, until you get out. You're still there. And then you're sitting outside. Oh, are we winning? Are we losing? So for those 7-8 hours, imagine you're putting youngsters. The youth is full of energy, right? Rather than, scrolling social media or doing, I would say most of the time that we are on social media, most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, we're wasting our time. So the kids should be out there playing any sort of sport. And cricket, as Atulji mentioned, because we have our heroes. People want to be Wasim Akram, Imran Khan, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. You have those heroes. So people want to be a bowler, a batsman of that caliber. And if Canada, can provide that platform, and I certainly see that, if we can provide that platform for our youth, it's good for economy. We can host India-Pakistan games here. If Dubai is hosting that, why not Canada? We can have international tournaments. It's good. It's a good economic idea as well. It's a good case for a GDP activity. It's a good case for bringing in tourism. Look at the Soccer World Cup. Why are countries, bidding to host Commonwealth Games, Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics? After the, LA Olympics. LA Olympics has brought cricket. The 2028 LA Olympics, cricket is part of that. I'm sure after 2028, 2032 Brisbane 2032 Olympics, again there will be cricket, I'm sure. And in case India gets to host Olympics 2036 in Ahmedabad, it has the biggest stadium. So I'm sure cricket will be consecutively part of the Olympics. So I would say this, that yes, why don't we? Cricket is a strong case for tourism. Cricket is a strong case for economy. But let alone economy, tourism, business case, they're all good cases, business cases as well. But the most important thing is the best investment we could do in our youth. You tell me, where can we direct the energy of youth? Go and watch the concerts whole night?
Yeah.
Fine, you can do that. Great. Who are the role models for our youth today? You tell me, who are the role models for our youth? They're all social media stars, the influencers. Good, nothing, I don't want to say anything. But influencers are great, those social media role models are great, but then we can create more role models out of the youth. Why India is churning out such cricketers? Why? Because Virat Kohli saw Sachin Tendulkar. I want to become Sachin Tendulkar. Then there are many youngsters who want to become Virat Kohli. And today I'm sure the Shubman Gills and Abhishek Sharmas are inspiring a new generation of cricketers.
Absolutely.
If Shubman Gill and Abhishek Sharma can open the innings, if Shubman Gill can be the leader, he's the captain of Test cricket, he's the captain of the ODI team, he's the vice captain of the T20 team. If Yashwi Jaiswal, with such humble backgrounds, he scored a century in all formats. He scored 7 centuries in Test. He scored a century in T20. He scored a century recently out. Just at the 4th innings, he scored an ODI century against South Africa. So, with such humble backgrounds, we can also inspire our youth here in Canada. It's not just any sport for that matter. It's not just a sport here. We can inspire our youth. And I'm telling you that physical health, mental health, among so many other benefits, But this is the way we'll teach our youth to fight. I'm playing badminton. I'm 52 right now. I play badminton every week, 2 times, sometimes 3 times, you know. So for those 2 hours, what am I focused on? Only on the shuttle. Where is it playing? Okay, I'm serving, playing, for good 1.5 to 2 hours. You know, we have a block of 2 hours, but usually I play for 1 hour because you get time to relax and there's rotation as well. So I would suggest, and you know, for that moment, I'm not worrying about business. I'm not worried about Ymedia. I'm not focusing on my mortgages. That's the time I'm entirely focused only on the shuttle. I have to hit smash. And you know, after we finish our game, I'm talking about badminton with my wife. She also comes along. We both play. And I have seen my niece, you know, she was here for almost 3 months. She was visiting me from Australia. I have seen her, you know, her focus was, I want to go to gym early in the morning. Oh, no carbs, 0 sugar. Why all this for? I have to become an international cricketer. The current bowling coach, he said, you know, you could easily play for Canada. Although her team, because she's an Aussie, so she wants to play from Australia, right? But you could easily play from. And my niece, again, you know, maybe there's some inherent bias what I'm about to say, but yes, she could easily play for Canada. She's a brilliant bowler, batsman, batter actually. We don't call that. She's a brilliant bowler, batter, and amazing fielder as well. I saw her playing many times, but again, I would say that yes, do our own part, whatever we know. Yes, you want to say something, I think.
Yeah. So you know, another route, and you talked about soccer a while back.
Yeah.
15 odd years ago, Canadian women's team was ranked 9th in the world in soccer. And the Canadian men's team was ranked 35th. Today the men's team has moved up to 27th, right, in soccer. The parallel here is that I think we could also make a very big mark in women's cricket. Our girls are strong. Our nutrition levels are very good. We have a culture, we have a active sporting culture in this country. And I think if focused, you know, within cricket, we could produce some fantastic women's players. To your points about administration, what happens is that this is how things are. We live in a society. So poor administration comes and goes. Sometimes it comes because it's allowed in. It goes because people don't want it. But there's a third facet, and there's a fourth facet. Administration's also pushed out, or to use the word, booted out. Like in the case of the US, the ICC has booted out the administration because of various reasons. The ICC may take steps like these in other scenarios. And also when you don't meet requirements of domestic sporting structures, that booting out or kicking out or derecognizing can follow. So some corrective measures can come when you refuse to do what is expected, what is required, because it doesn't matter if you're a volunteer in an organization. You are volunteering to do what compliance requires you to do. And if you're not a fit, somebody or the other will remove you if you refuse to comply beyond a point. So whether it is your own country's system, whether it's the international system, and so if the domestic self-correction doesn't happen, it will get forced upon you.
Absolutely. Yudviji, besides being a cricket administrator, Atulji has another very, very interesting aspect about him. If you allow, may I share that with our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, let's call it a wrap. And
I just came to know about that a short while ago, and I thought I must share that with our viewers and listeners. Atulji is a lyric writer, composer, and a singer too. And he sang in one of the very, very good films. Atulji, would you mind sharing that with our viewers?
Yeah, I have a love of music. I've performed most of my life, so I was doing a show where one of the people in the audience directed a film called The Sky is Pink. And also the main character in the film is someone known to me, and I knew a bit of the background of the story. So the director called me one night and said, could you write a song for one of the scenes?
Wow.
About this child who is born with a certain condition that life may not be long for the child. And then eventually in the film, that child actually passes away and speaks from heaven. So that child was born with a certain medical condition. And so the first verse I wrote was, as I stand tall. So even if a child is born with a medical deficiency, you must always stand tall, right? So as I stand tall, even if the sky would fall. When life feels on the brink, look above, the sky is pink. So essentially, no matter what your challenge is, look at the brighter side. And so that was the first verse I wrote. The second verse was, after she passes, that now I'm gone so far away, but I'm still with you every day. So this leads into, again, words of hope. So I wrote these lyrics, I sent it to the director. She said she liked them. I put some music to it, recorded it, sang it, and it runs in the film.
May we have the pleasure of listening to that, sir?
As I stand tall, even if the sky would fall. When life feels on the brink, look above, the sky is pink. Hey!
Wow. That's
Very
awesome.
nice. Very nice.
So,
well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Multi-talented person, sir.
Yes. Enjoyed the discussion. Thank you so much, Atulji, for being on the show today. And before we let you go, I must once again wish our Canadian national team all the best for the upcoming T20 tournament. I know there are many big teams as well, but we still wish our Canadian national team all the best, because I have a strong belief that yes, there is so much talent. The youngsters, there's so much talent. So if we groom them well, if we support them well, and we must offer great packages to them, the central contracts that we offer, I think if we support our youngsters over here, I'm sure that we can bring many trophies here. We can qualify for the Test cricket. So let's support cricket in Canada. Let's support our youngsters. And Ymedia is always there, so we will be covering this support. We will be covering this cricket for you. Thank you so much, Atulji.
Thank you, Atulji, for being in the studios.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Had a great time. Thank you. All the best.